Hello everyone and welcome back to what might well be the last ever F123 video. Yes, we return this weekend here for the Formula 1 Qatar Airways Grand Premio del Made in Italy Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. No, that joke does never get old. But yes, we're back with the F124 mod, of course, with another last question mark challenge here from the Imola circuit. Of course, the home of Ferrari. Actually more the home of Ferrari than Monza, of course, Ferrari's factory just down the road. But we're ready for 19 corners around this anti-clockwise circuit, and I must admit, I'm looking forward for Imola returning this weekend. Of course, it was a shame with the context last year as to why there was no GP. But as you can see, taking a look at the starting grid, no real surprises. Max Verstappen on the pole there ahead of George Russell. Clearly after losing to Lando Norris last weekend, he's decided he's coming back with a vengeance here in Italy. But yeah, Russell, very, very good qualifying job done in his Mercedes there, and Hamilton up on the second row as well, ahead of Fernando Alonso. I'm sure Toto Wolff very happy. Piastri gets the better of his teammate, as well as Perez and Leclerc there, with Lando Norris ahead of Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Magnussen and Stroll ahead of both state cars on row 7, with then Albon and Ocon, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Sargent, and of course, yes, ourselves, Carlos Sainz at the rear of the field. But yeah, let me know where you think we're going to finish in this race today down in the comments below. And yeah, let's head trackside. Well, for what might well be then the final video we ever do inside F123, we are ready trackside here at Imola. I feel like I'm going to hold some happy memories from this game. You know, it was a bit of a shame the hype died so quickly for it relative to previous years, mainly obviously because last season was simply so boring. But, you know, that's by the by. I feel like this game, though, was a very, very good step up from F122. We're going to go for the alternate strategy here, try and be quick towards the end of the GP. But lining up then on the grid, it is 5 red lights here at Imola. And it's lights out, and away we go then. Not off to the best start in the world, neither was I expected to, as clearly a lot of concertina and up happening just in front of me there, as Daniel Ricciardo will try to cover us off on the inside in towards that first corner. And I really just don't want to get involved in too much drama at the first turn. We'll get back around the outside of the Australian, and we'll move up then into P19. So making up one spot off of the start here. Hulkenberg as well, joining me on the medium compound tyres. As look at everyone else, just concertina's up. So we make our way down into the hairpin. Try and have a look down the inside of the Haas. Hopefully he's not going to make our life too difficult, which he won't there. Logan Sargent, of course, we drove as him last time out in Miami. That was genuinely, I think, one of the best ever races we've ever done of this mini-series. So that was really, really good fun as well there. If you missed that from Miami, go back and check it out. It looks like he's keeping his seat for just a little bit longer, but hopefully will not be keeping P17 for much longer, as around the outside will go down in towards the chicane then. So making up moves early on here. You'll see Valtteri Bottas a little way up the road as, wow, okay. That Williams clearly got some straight line speed as we make our way in towards the final couple of corners, though. We have completed the move, and by the end of lap 1 then, P17, as Russell has taken the lead away from Max Verstappen. But I can't imagine for very long, as I can already see on the mini-map, Verstappen's just blown back by him. Well, one place where this car definitely seems to be quite quick, actually, is on the exit of Aqua Minerale. This Ferrari's got very, very good rear-end traction there, as you can see, as we make our way back up the hill. Albon aware of it. Oh, Bottas broke earlier than I was expecting, and he's going to have one trying to look at the inside, one trying to have a look at the outside there. That almost was disaster. Come on then, Alex Albon. It's nice to actually have some straight line speed, but that Williams we know is very, very impressive, as we're going to make it 3 wide. We're going to stake kick Sauber car and the Williams back down in towards turn 1. None of us want to give up. We'll just hold it around the outside of the pair of them, though. I heard a lot of contact going on between the two in the middle, but we make the double overtake happen. I'm genuinely staggered that didn't end up working out worse for me. Well, the AI perhaps spreading out a little bit more than I would have wanted early on today, so we're already on to lap 5. 5.2 seconds. Haven't made as much progress up through the order as I would normally like to in these videos, of course. You know, it's normally try and get past all the back markers and Lance Stroll nice and early on, and then we kind of end up in a good little strategy race with most of the other front runners, unless, of course, they're called Max Verstappen. because I think, yeah, he was, what, 6/10 clear in qualifying? And I'm expecting just to waltz away as we get into the Grand Prix. Clearly the Dutchman, of course, after losing to Lando Norris last weekend, has decided he just wants to smash faces in. As Ocon defensive line up the top of the hill. Can we try and switch him as we make our way down towards Aqua Minerale? We're going to try and show the nose. And the Alpine driver there, maybe wisely, opted to give me space. Zhou Guanyu then, this one hopefully is going to be a little bit easier to navigate. He has still got the DRS off of those cars in front, but just like ourselves, opted for those medium compounded tyres. He's actually got slightly more top-end speed there. Zhou Guanyu, I was not expecting him to put up as much of a fight as he did. Being on the inside, though, down in turn 1, ended up making the move pretty simple. But, yeah, that Kick Sauber car's got some speed. I do still find it funny sometimes the way the AI can tend to clump together still in this series. We'll try and switch Lance Stroll at the final corner. Once more, it looks like he's providing one of the back markers an opportunity to try and score some points. As Gasly and Tsunoda, the former Toro Rosso duo and AlphaTauri duo back in the day. Tsunoda, though, getting the better of his fellow... sorry, not fellow Frenchman, his old French teammate. Okay, don't quite know how I've done that. To the outside of Magnussen we go as we make our way up the hill, and we'll... Wow. Oh! Well, we cut across his nose on the way in, which was a very Magnussen-esque style thing to do, and almost completely sent myself spinning on the exit of the corner there. The curbs around this Imola circuit, of course, very, very aggressive, and for 2024 it has also been altered, so more of the gravel traps now come right up to the exit of those serrated curbs, so drivers are going to have to be even more careful this weekend. See, I saw a good example of it in WEC, but yeah, a lot more of them are kind of like these final couple of corners where it is literally curb and gravel. There's no kind of other real estate to try and utilise if you make an error there, and you can see this time around it actually might cost me. As Gasly and Tsunoda having a battle. That was scary. We'll try and get to the inside of Pierre as well. No, we won't. Tsunoda has a look back round the outside, and turn 1 rattles over the curbing. Of course, I get the warning for it.
That was a bit risky. We could have received the penalty.
That was real scary, and that's why you don't have a sudden change of direction with the DRS wide open. Well, can't help but feel Pierre Gasly is going to be a bit more of a sitting duck this time round. I reckon I need to get a heart rate monitor and strap it to me when I'm doing these kind of races, apparently. On the outside of Pierre. Can we make the move happen? I think we can. There we go. We'll swoop past him before we even get back into the braking zone. But I'm noticing as well, Mercedes, Alonso, McLaren's, Perez, Leclerc, they're all battling it out with each other, so we might be with them all before we even pit. Well, we've seen this before last season, where Ferrari upgrades actually suit Carlos Sainz's driving style rather than Charles Leclerc's. I think, you know, I still believe Charles Leclerc is the quicker driver of the two, but I feel like, yeah, that Carlos Sainz is slightly more adaptable, as plenty of cars diving into the pit lane. Charles Leclerc being one of them, so as we move around the outside of Lando Norris, it's going to turn into the inside for turn 1, but he's one of the only soft compound runners who's opted to stay out here and go one extra lap. Hamilton up into P2 as well. I'm sure he probably thinks it's been far too long since he found himself in second place in a GP, but Mercedes even, they've had a lot more pace this weekend than I think any of us were expecting, but I feel like we'll see him into the pits at the end of this one. Well, I must also add then, if Max Verstappen is on a set of medium tyres and is able to build up that kind of lead early on this afternoon, then, well, I certainly don't think there's any hope for any of us here, as, yeah, he's going to go for another one. Verstappen has built up that kind of a lead on the medium compounded tyre there, as Hamilton into the pit lane. Red Bull are going to have a 1-2 for about 5 seconds here, as we're now going to get ahead of Sergio Perez. How on earth has Verstappen done that in the first half of this race? I tell you what, our pace feels good. The Ferrari upgrades are working well. Well, is it going to be Verstappen or is it going to be Sergio Perez that is given the ideal pit-in lap? I would assume it's going to be Max, try and help protect his lead. Nope, the Dutchman's going to go for another one. So we are going to peel into the pit lane then and try to go for a little bit of an undercut on our former teammate. Make sure we get the car stopped. Yep, Perez in behind me as well. I actually think we did pretty well against Sergio in terms of slowing down for the box. Into the pits we go. Come on. Onto the soft tyres. Let me go. Thank you.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Well, I hate to think the last time Valtteri Bottas was P4 in a Grand Prix, because I'm sure it's felt like a long old while for him. Unfortunately, we are going to get undercut by all of those other drivers, which I was expecting to be the case. Lando Norris, though, I think actually got held up.
Line on the exit will receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
So I feel like, yeah, Lando ended up getting caught out behind one of the Alpines. That must have been Gasly for a lap or so there. So he's lost out big time in all of this. It's actually dragged Gasly back towards the rest of the top 10. But yeah, now on the softer tyres, we have got to fly up to this gaggle of cars. Well, the only thing that's making me a little bit nervous is Perez behind me has opted to go onto the soft compound tyre. If Max Verstappen has joined him, then I don't really think we've got a shot at the victory today. With 8 laps to go, new fastest lap.
Keep managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
Alonso and Russell are really now starting to drag this whole group back down a bit as Leclerc trying to get between them. But we need to try and get past them as soon as possible and maybe then go on a Red Bull hunt. Oh, Hamilton didn't get the best run out of Aqua Minerale and he knows he's vulnerable to us. Again, we just get such good traction out of that corner as Hamilton and Piastri there just getting a little bit tripping over each other. That's going to open up a bit of a gap. We'll try and go down the inside there. 3 wide down the hill. That is not meant to be what I was planning on doing. But somehow we've made it through without any contact at all. Ran the outside of Oscar Piastri as well. I genuinely don't believe, ever gone 3 wide on the exit of that corner. I have no idea how we didn't make contact. Here we go. Alonso and Russell once again side by side. Charles Leclerc got the best seat in the house. But that has given me some newfound confidence towards the end of this afternoon. Come on, Charlie, we're quicker. You've got to let me by. Surely the team have got to let me have a stab at Alonso and Russell before this race is down and out. Once again, you can just see when you use a little bit of the battery as well, there is nothing he can do off the exit of that corner. Side by side into the chicane, but we will make the move happen. And we are up into P4 then of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But Alonso and Russell, we need to charge up the battery pack a little bit. We want to try and get past and back down in towards turn 1. We should have more grip off of that final corner. Alonso just has a little bit of a wobble as well. That's going to leave him vulnerable as we make our way back over the start-finish line. Here, Alonso gets put in the wall by George Russell. What on earth is that? We will end up getting past both of them, but very dodgy driving by George Russell. And I think, well, Alonso would be on the radio saying he should be black flagged for that all the time. You have to leave a space as, well, yeah, reminiscent, of course, because that was Nico Rosberg also in a Mercedes at that point. But 6 laps to go this Grand Prix. We are up into P2. It is best of the rest. But have we got anything against Verstappen? I need about 1.5 seconds a lap, which I'm not confident I'm going to find.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. And some information on Leclerc. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh no, Charles, final lap of the Grand Prix. We're about to begin, and I think he's either gone for a spin or is out here at Imola. So once again, I think he's span again in the same place he did in 2022. But for Max Verstappen at the front of the field, though, yeah, we have been ever so slightly quicker, but it's certainly not been enough to make the difference at the end of this GP. The Dutchman looking absolutely unstoppable out at the front of the field there. But yeah, this race, I tell you what, certainly has been full of drama. And like I said, if this is our last F123 video, then I feel like we've ended on quite a dramatic one as well there. Leclerc into the pit lane, so he's not going to get anything for his troubles this afternoon here at one of Ferrari's home Grand Prix. But 18 points for us. Certainly helps out in the championship fight as well there. But Max Verstappen, yeah, I don't know how many times he's won on this game, but it's probably most of the races I've ever done, to be completely honest as well. But F123, you've been good. Like I said, it's a bit odd because I don't know whether this is going to be the last race I do, but it's been fun. It's been a journey. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. Never going to forgive you for what happened in my team a few weeks ago, though, so that I'm sure will always stick with me. But through the final corners, Max Verstappen is going to win the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. But from last on the grid, it is going to be P2 for Carlos Sainz. We will take it.
It
was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
Well, I'm not really sure Max Verstappen after lap 1 had to see any other drivers for the rest of the afternoon. Their pole position, race victory for the Dutchman, but we did take the fastest lap bonus point away from him there. We come through for P2. We were actually closer to Max than Alonso was to us by the end of the race there, so I think we can be pretty happy with that one as well. Charles Leclerc, a minute off in the end, gutted for him with that late race penalty. With that late race pit stop even, but it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching this video though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. F124 content is coming very, very soon, which I cannot wait to show you all as well. And yeah, we'll be back very soon with more Formula 1 content.